Hey, Phoneybeetlemaniacxs with you once again. As Gman's made a anti-Catholic video again, I thought I'd take this point to do two videos in one to basically save time. So I'm going to do one against Ironcross, I wrote from Ron. That's going to be the first bit, and I'm going to do Gman. So Ironcross, Ron. Ron, me versus me, Fiona, Jade, about the whole Catholic thing. Now, for those who don't know, I'm not Catholic now, but doesn't mean that I like people lying about what other people believe or say. I mean, if you're going to criticise somebody, at least criticise it correctly. Now, he keeps on saying Mary is worshipped in their religion, and I keep on saying no, it isn't. No, she isn't. She isn't worshipped in their religion in the slightest, Ron. Now, he seems to think that this is a position of either, incredulity or that I'm just denying the truth. It's like, no. The Catholics, historically, have never worshipped Mary. Never. Never, 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 never. Okay? That would A, be heretical, and B, it's something that they've excommunicated people for. Yes, Ron. That is stuff that you can actually look up in the history books. Now the thing is that he then gives me out context quotes given by popes. Now the thing is that I haven't actually looked up these things, and there's a reason why I hadn't. Because some of them are only visible in Latin, and I don't speak Latin. Some of them are only visible in certain parts of America, and Jay did a fabulous job of tracking these things down. I mean, I tried to track them down, but I couldn't find them anywhere on the internet. I wondered where he got them from, because he wouldn't source them to me. I told him that it's dishonest to do that, to give a quote out of context, because he could have been talking about what milk he's taking this day and just saying that Mary was responsible for that. I had no clue what the context was, what he was talking about, what anything. He could have been addressing an order of nuns. He could be addressing his dog. He could be addressing anything. I do not know the context or the quantification or anything. So I have no clue, but again, I'm going to call bullshit. Even if let's grant he was right. Let's grant for the sake of argument's right. That is still wrong, because again, you can't just quote somebody out of context and say it's right. This is basically the Catholic equivalent of having, hand quote Charles Darwin out of context, or in lieu of anything else he said. You need to preside the whole work for me to gather context, because then I can comment on it. And Rod doesn't seem to understand that. He doesn't seem to understand the idea of citation, or posting and then apparently I was supposed to do the whole entire work. No, Rod. Unless you present me to the whole citation, I have no reason to suggest that you've either A, read it, or B, have it. Okay? And that suspicion was conferred by Jade, who said that she could only find it in 2 places in the US. So that means that you hadn't actually read it, and it was in Latin. I mean, the thing is that the thing is this is easy to defeat. All you need to do is go through church history, and it's very clear to see that they do not hold the view that you're opposing to them, Ron. You say, oh well, give me a citation. Okay, read church history. There are several books on it. They're available on Amazon. Actually, there's some available on the internet as a free PDF. They're visible to read, not written by conspiracy theorists. Sometimes they're even written by people who aren't Catholic. But they give an actual legitimate history of the actual church, what they believe, what they think, and position of Mary in the church. And his position is, oh well, Mary's dead, so you shouldn't have to say. So you shouldn't say, "Hey, Mary." She's in heaven, Ron. And she gained favour with God by being his mother on earth. And he doesn't seem to gather that fact or understand that fact. And then they criticise the saints, even though that's in Scripture, and Hail Mary's in Scripture, and all this other stuff that me and Fiona and Jade were pointing out to him again. And he doesn't seem to understand. So, Ron, as a video, right? You chose me to hang out on Saturday. I didn't want to come because you used the words pre-trial. I'm sorry, I've already been through one. I don't want to go for another one. But I'm going to challenge you to a hangout on neutral ground. Cliff Jumper has offered, and hopefully you'll comment below, to do a hangout for us where we can discuss this, and everyone who's interested can go and watch it. And you can bring 2 people along if you want. It'll be me, Jade, and Fiona on one side, you and 2 others, and we can discuss this like civil human beings without anyone being kicked, everyone being muted. Cliff will be impartial, fair review, where you get your chance to speak, we get our chance. No one gets kicked, no one gets butt hurt. And hopefully one of us will come away with the true understanding of what the Catholic Church actually believes. With that said, with that done, Gman. Now, for those who haven't watched or seen or witnessed, Gman has now put up another video in response to Fiona's video about the Catholic Church. Now, Gman gets it wrong again. He doesn't seem to understand what Fiona was talking about. Was that she doesn't agree with many of the things that the Roman Catholic Church has done that she won't or can't defend. Okay? The negative things, like, for example, the recent child abuse protection thing, the recent, the history of doing, violent things to subjugate people, that sort of thing. She said that she will not and cannot defend those things, which is good for her. Now, Gman, seen an opportunity because he doesn't seem to get it, was there going, oh, she recognises the negative things in Catholic. No, that's because that was what Dillahunty was talking about. Then he continues to make fallacious claims about what Roman Catholic Church actually believes, using 2 places of scripture and then accuses her of cherry picking. What the hell? Now, I'm going to explain something to Gman here, and maybe this is too hard for it. Okay. There's a difference between belonging to an organisation and agreeing 100% with everything they do. There's a difference there. And no group that exists ever is going to do everything correctly. They're going to fuck up and do something you don't agree with. I mean, I'm a member of the Quaker, and they've done stuff I totally disagree with. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop being a Quaker now, Gman. I'm a socialist. Socialists in the past have fucked up. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop be a socialist. I'm a man. Men are fucked up. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop being a man. There's tons of things that people who be groups that I either choose to be part of or just part of by birth that have done things that, again, I definitely disagree with. Doesn't mean that I'm going to stop being part of them. Again, recognising when somebody in your group has messed up and fucked up is one of the things that is actually a good quality for a human being to have. It means you can try and fix those things and make them less likely to mess up on those things in the future. Now, he then goes on to say, oh, when people challenge God, you never say anything. That's a lie, Gman. She has said things in the past. She said things on the Magic Sandwich Show. She said things to Carlton Kemerite. She said things to J.D. Kane. She said things to a lot of people, and a lot of people down below will probably attest to the fact that she's either said it to them or they've witnessed her saying so. Now, Gman, just because you haven't seen these things doesn't mean that she hasn't. Again, maybe she's not in the mood to defend it that night. Maybe she agrees with the point being made, but disagrees entirely about the thing about God. Again, you can agree with specific points somebody's making, but not agree with the whole. That's the way that nuance goes. You see, that's the thing, Gman, you don't seem to get, is that Fiona is a Catholic and does believe in God. Doesn't mean that she has to agree with everything you think is wrong, because that would just make her uptight. Okay, she finds offence with the things which she finds offence with, and what she chooses to defend. You do not get to dictate to her what she should and should not defend, what she should and should not do in hangouts, and what she should and should not think. She does. And at the moment, she's in the mode, and I don't think she'll mind me saying that, where she's basically doing, scripted videos in response to people like yourself, but she's not really doing it on hangouts. Maybe there's a reason for that. Okay? I am the person who does deal with these things, because I think honesty is important. no matter what part of the great debate you're on. Okay, it's one of the things I choose to pride myself on, is that I may be wrong, I may be stubborn, I might be bullheaded, but it doesn't mean that I'm lying or I'm dishonest. It just means that I'm wrong or mistaken or something. And I'm willing to admit that because I have my human frailties and stuff. But the thing is, Gman, is that you can't accept the fact that you're wrong about the Catholic Church. And not only that, you can't accept that, again, Matt Dillahunty was not discussing Fiona's faith. If you've talked about what Roman Catholics believe and why it's wrong, then you may have a point there. And he probably has made that video in the past. Okay, I'm sure he's talked about transubstantiation, he's talked about, the Eucharist and Mass and all that sort of stuff. Stuff that he probably does disagree with. Now, if you were to talk about that, I'm sure Fiona would be happy to talk about that. But you didn't. You talked about the negative. Matt Dillahunty just talked about the negative stuff, and she said that at those points she would not defend the Catholic Church. And instead of saying, okay, well that's one thing you won't defend. Well, what would you defend them on? See, that's the way that a dialogue works, G-Man. You're going after things that she doesn't necessarily agree with. It's going, well, it's the reason you're a member of the Catholic Church then. Is there stuff about it? Again, and try to get a dialogue that way. No, you're very cold about it. Now, G-Man, I'm going to ask you a question. Does your denomination agree with you breaking the third commandment? That's a question. There's 4 me, 12 dreams, man, true, out.